Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Coffeyville City Commission meeting for Tuesday, July 22nd. We will have roll call by Melissa.
Commissioner Faulkner.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Vice Mayor Van Oster.
Here.
Commissioner Hendricks.
Here.
Mayor Maples.
Here. We will now have our invocation by Pastor Randy DePriest of the First Assembly of God Church. Please stand.
Well, I'd like to say you can always tell the health of a room by the atmosphere, and it's pretty healthy in here today. So good for all of you. A lot of interaction and mostly peace in the room, and so we can be favored of the Lord. Psalm 21, 6 and 7 says, "Surely you've granted him unending blessings, made him glad with the joy of your presence. For the king trusts in the Lord. Through the unfailing love of the Most High, he will not be shaken." Heavenly Father, as we come to you today and we ask for that promise that as long as we know the King, as long as we trust in the Lord and your goodness, the leadership today can rest in the promises of God and not be shaken. But Lord, as we go in ordered steps, may you bless each one. May you bless the city. May you bless Coffeyville, the county, and all the decisions that are made here tonight. We give you thanks and praise for being here with us. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will now have a review of the agenda. I will make a motion to amend the agenda to add an executive session to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Maples, second by Vice Mayor Van Oster, to amend the agenda to add an executive session to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship. Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Hendricks.
Aye.
Mayor Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Faulkner.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to our consent agenda. First, we have the City Commission meeting minutes for Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. Then we have the 2025 appropriation ordinance number AO-25-14 in the amount of $5,703,807.63. Vice Mayor Van Oster has some highlights.
Yes. We have a few things to review here. We have Algar Martin, $46,448. This is for design bidding on some various projects we have here going on. An Extra Incorporated, $17,757.97, transformers and substation improvement items. B&G Sons, this is contract mowing for 91 lots, $2,548. BG Consultants, these are for pay estimates on several projects we have going, $14,120. CDL Electric, this is pay estimate number 1 on the 6th Street water line relocation, $62,116. We have Coffeyville Plaza 2 LLC. This is the CID sales tax. This is out in the mini mall where Kingsmart and so forth are located, $6,871. We have Coffeyville Regional Medical Center. This is the sales tax distribution, $92,664. DeLang Landon Public Finance. This is payment number 25 on golf cart lease, $2,240. Delta Dental of Kansas, $6,497. These are for dental claims. Grand River Dam Authority, $3,260,272. KMGA Gas Supply, the operating fund, $179,803. Murphy Tractor and Equipment Company. This is for 2 John Deere mini excavators that we discussed a long time ago, $222,410. We have Solutions North Bank. This is the incentive for one of our first-time home buyers, $5,000. Southwest Power Pool. This has to do with the transmission fee in conjunction with Grand River Dam Authority, $863,858. Fortzilla, North America Cylinder Pressure Sensor, $25,012. We have payroll, $498 and $337, excuse me. That's it.
Any questions? Okay. If not, I will move to approve items 1 and 2 of the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Maples, seconded by Vice Mayor Van Oster to approve items 1 and 2 of the consent agenda as presented. Vice Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Hendricks.
Aye.
Mayor Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye. Okay, and we will have 2025 appropriation ordinance number AO-25-14A for Ishams and Lieberts in the amount of $6.01.
I move to approve item number 3, the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Faulkner, seconded by Commissioner Hendricks to approve item 3 of the consent agenda as presented. Commissioner Hendricks.
Aye.
Mayor Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Van Oster.
Abstain.
Okay, moving on to comments from the public. Any citizen desiring to address the commission shall be recognized, advance to the podium, state his or her name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes unless extended by a vote of the majority of the commission. The commission does not hear matters involving litigation or city personnel. The commission does not take action on subjects not on the agenda unless unusual or hardship conditions exist. Citizens may address the commission on agenda items as they are brought to the floor. Do we have any comments from the public today? Okay. We have no regular agenda item, no public hearings, special presentations or proclamations, no old business, so we will move on to new business. New business number 1, discussion and action to make appointments to the Juvenile Community Corrections Board. City Clerk Melissa Carter will make comments.
Mayor and Commissioners, the Juvenile Community Corrections Board is comprised of 12 or more members from the county, including representatives of law enforcement, education, corrections, social services, and the general public. 3 of these positions are appointed by the Coffeyville City Commission. As of June 30th, all 3 positions are vacant. 2 positions are for full 3-year terms expiring June 30th, 2028. There's also an unfinished term open that expires June 30th, 2026. I've received 2 applications. Shawnee James served on the board since 2019, and Tasha Williams, who is a new applicant. Unfortunately, Shawnee had to work, so she cannot be here this evening, but Tasha is here and would be happy to answer any questions you have.
I guess I'd like to know why you want to serve.
Yeah. Tasha, come on up.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
What questions do you have?
Just tell us a little bit about yourself and why this board interests you.
So, I'm Tasha Williams. I have lived in Coffeyville for a little over 20 years now. I've been at this podium many, many times before. Back in 2013, our son was hit with a car, so that started my journey here to get the safe routes to school. So that was a big part that I was part of to get going here in Coffeyville. I have 2 children that are about to start Phil Kinley High School. They're 14-year-old twins. So all of my 3 older boys have been through Coffeyville school, so the youth has always been a big part. I was also part of the Coffeyville City Rec Committee and on their board for 4, almost 5 years, I think. And I have a master's degree in science as in nursing. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I practice in Tulsa at an acute care psych facility, so I understand the mental health and, you know, with youth and adults. So it's something I've always been passionate about.
I have, for the benefit of those who may not know Tasha, I've watched her from the sidelines for several years, and there is no doubt about her passion for youth and safety of the youth. And I remember when it started with your son, and if somebody tries to tell Tasha something can't be done, just get out of the way. So that's my only comment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will say it did take me 5 years to get the flashing school zone lights around all of our schools, because we were the only school within many miles that did not have flashing school zone lights, even though we are the largest elementary school. So that was my number one project before the Safe Routes to School.
There's no further questions. I will move to appoint Tasha Williams and Shawnee Jamez to the Juvenile Community Corrections Board for terms expiring June 30th, 2028.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion is made by Vice Mayor Van Oster, second by Commissioner Jones to appoint Tasha Williams and Shawnee Jamez to the Juvenile Community Corrections Board for terms expiring June 30th, 2028. Mayor Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Hendricks.
Aye.
Thank you
Thank you.
for applying and volunteering for this.
Okay, next we have Resolution R-25-78, a resolution to approve the final plat of replat of lots 13 through 24, Block 10, and lots 1 through 8 of Block 6 of Klein's Westwood addition to the city of Coffeyville. Director of Community Development, Amber Dean, will make comments.
Hello, everyone. As you know, we purchased the Gibson Street property last year, I believe, and our intent is to develop on that property, and part of this process is replatting it. We have replatted it to include 18 lots. It's gone through planning and zoning. They've approved it and recommend it for your guys' approval tonight. Do you guys have any questions about it?
This is
No, I was
just
looking-
wonderful.
The
Yep.
plat looks
Good,
great.
good.
I was looking.
Very good.
Huh? Anybody else have any questions?
I move to approve Resolution R-25-78, resolution to approve the final plat of replat of lots 13 through 24, Block 10, and lots 1 through 8, Block 6 of Klein's Westwood addition to the city of Coffeyville as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner Faulkner, second by Mayor Maples to approve Resolution R-25-78 as presented. Commissioner Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Hendricks.
Aye.
Mayor Maples.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Resolution R-25-79, a resolution to authorize the execution of an agreement with the Kansas Department of Commerce for a CDBG sewer infrastructure project. Executive Director of Public Works Jim Wright will make comments. Good evening.
Good evening. On July 7th of '25, City of Coffeyville was awarded $701,503 in CDBG funds to support the sewer line improvement project on Brown Street. That'll be between Eldridge going south to Osage. The grant combined with $233,835 in local matching funds bring the project total to $935,338. These funds will be used for construction, engineering, design, inspection, and professional services necessary to complete the project. The project contract must be executed by August 1st, 2025. And the replacement improvement of the aging sewer lines, engineering design is estimated at $55,000, construction inspection is $25,000, and other professional services at $44,000. No administrative costs are being funded by the grant. City is required to follow all applicable CDBG guidelines, including procurement, labor standards, environmental review, and reporting requirements. Do you have any questions? I'll try to answer them.
It's gonna take 2 years.
Sorry?
It's gonna take 2 years.
I hope not. That's just the window of
That's the
opportunity
window.
that we have to get everything started, get it completed. So,
Okay.
yes.
Do you have a current time frame you're
No.
thinking? No.
We do not. I believe we already have the engineers that have already designed it and ready to go on that. So we were just made aware, I think, the last couple of weeks of this, so.
Okay. All right. Okay, if there's no further questions, I will move to approve Resolution R-25-79 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Vice Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Faulkner to approve Resolution R-25-79 as presented. Commissioner Jones?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Van Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Hendricks?
Aye.
Mayor Maples?
Aye.
Commissioner Faulkner?
Aye.
Okay, Resolution R-25-80, a resolution to approve a work authorization with Algier Martin and Associates for engineering design and bidding services on the 2026 street improvement project.
Public Works Department is proposing reconstruction of the streets located north of Community Elementary. I believe there's a map in there. North Ohio, North Parkview, and also Grandview. I think you know that Grandview currently is a gravel road through there, so that'll be a total reconstruction. Also Glen Avenue off of Buckeye and Velma Drive off of Buckeye. Both of those will be a total reconstruction there. The cost estimate that we have is for a total reconstruction of Ohio and Parkview. But the engineers are aware that we've had core samples done, and we believe after they do their magic that we can get by with a mill and overlay, which would greatly reduce the total cost of the project itself.
I know these people, especially Velma Drive, will be glad
Yes, they
to
will.
have this done.
Most
That would be
definitely.
very-
Everybody will. Every time anybody can get a street done, however, they're glad, but I know Velma Drive people will really be happy. Yes.
There's, on Northfield, at the intersection of Northfield and Parkview. It's a pretty beat-up intersection. So, are you gonna redo that intersection, or where does the line start to redo this? Are you gonna include fixing parts of that intersection?
Well, we're going to total reconstruct all the gravel, and any part that needs to be done, that
No,
will
on-
be pieces that,
Northfield, not Grandview.
Oh, it's not on.
So it stops at
And
Parkview and
North-
Northfield, but
nothing
that
will be-
intersection.
Nothing will be done on Northfield in
Okay.
'26.
Okay, I'd suggest you go look at that intersection, and, because otherwise you'll have a going north on Parkview, starting at Northfield, a new road, and then that intersection's gonna be terrible. It's been
Perhaps
patched
it could be
over.
that way.
It's been
But yeah,
patched so many
I
times.
go through that intersection weekly, so, yes, I am aware of that, so.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, if there's no other questions, I will move to approve Resolution R-25-80 as presented. Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Maples, seconded by Commissioner Jones to approve Resolution R-25-80 as presented. Vice Mayor Van Oster?
Aye.
Commissioner Hendricks?
Aye.
Mayor Maples?
Aye.
Commissioner Faulkner?
Aye.
Commissioner Jones?
Aye. Thank you. All right, now we have Resolution R-25-81, a resolution to authorize the city manager to execute a sales order agreement with Edmunds GovTech for the implementation, onboarding, and licensing of a municipal financial and accounting software suite Director of Finance, Martin Cummings, will make comments. Good evening.
Good evening, Commissioners. So as you guys are all aware, we have been with Tyler Technologies, or more I should say, with Encode version 9 since 2005. The software was originally developed in the late 90s and functions as such. Okay. And so last year, when Tim Wilson came on board, I believe it was March of last year, you guys had authorized the change to the off-site version of this same product. Unfortunately, that product is essentially the same, it's just no longer hosted on our local server. And with that has come an increased cost of the annual licensing and maintenance fees have gone up from around $50,000 a year to, we got lucky this last year and were able to whittle it down to 121, but the projected cost going forward to remain with Tyler is 143,000 a year. Okay. So with that in mind, we've been shopping new ERPs to try to see if we could find one that would fit the city's needs. We shopped 3 in particular, whittled the list down to 2 when it was between Tyler Technologies ERP Pro 10 and Edmunds GovTech's municipal suite. After doing a cost-benefit analysis, we determined that the best option would be to go with Edmunds GovTech. We demoed both products thoroughly with all city staff, and everyone concluded that while both products would be preferential to the product we are currently on, everyone agreed that they appreciated the interface of Edmunds GovTech a little bit more. And so just to kind of give you give you a little context in addition to that, we are looking at a cost savings over remaining with Tyler of $51,000 a year starting in 2027 when we'll go live with this, if you accept this proposal. In addition to that, the other advantage to going with Edmunds GovTech over Tyler Technologies is there's $121,000 savings on the implementation side of the product. Okay. In addition, further context, this is an HTML web-based application, so modern. We can log in remotely from anywhere. So if there's a catastrophe and staff can't make it into City Hall for some reason, we can still access our accounting anywhere we're at. Also allows us for some customization and development later on as we may need if we bring on third-party applications, which we currently are doing. And so that makes interfacing with those a little bit easier having this. So the only thing I think is worth noting is we will remain a customer of Tyler Technologies Municipal Court platform. Edmunds GovTech does not have a municipal court offering, and so Tyler Tech has said that they will allow us to continue as a customer on that platform as a standalone product. Current costs are just over $1,200 annually for that product. Okay. But again, with that being said, because Edmunds GovTech is a web-based application, integrating that into Edmunds financials should not be a problem. Okay. But with that, I think it's probably important to note that this is about an 18-month turnaround time that we are going to go into. So if approved and we do execute and we go ahead and execute this agreement this week, that will begin kind of the countdown. And so part of that is mapping our business processes. That's probably the largest part that we have to do to make sure that we have an intelligent understanding of all of our business processes and to make sure that those are adequately described to Edmunds GovTech. And then from there, they'll begin mapping our data and going through the process of integration. Training would start about 45 days ahead of our go-live date. So with that, are there any questions?
I guess my only question was, I love the fact that we're trying to save money. I mean, we always want to do that, but is that still going to give us what we need? I don't want to save money at the expense of not having what will make us do the job well.
So, by all accounts, not only will it give us what we need, it'll give us more than what we currently have in our current offering. And from a comparison perspective to Tyler Technologies, it has the same capacity and features with the exception of the municipal court platform.
And it will get us into the future for several years.
Yes, and one of the things we did in assessing this is we did do customer calls, so we got them to give up some phone numbers of some of their existing customers that were willing to talk with us. And whether they realized it or not, these were very forthright customers. So, I mean, they were honest. They said the implementation, granted, the one customer that comes to mind right now was actually from, I think, Delaware, who was a full-service municipality as well. And on the utility billing side, the biggest issue they had was the implementation. That this was 10 years ago. A lot has changed since then. But when and she remembers that vividly because it was like, you know, nails on a chalkboard for her. But she was very forthright in saying it's a great product. It works. Is it you know, is it I mean, is it something you're going to find at NASA? Probably not.
Well,
But it gets us what it gets the job done and does it well.
yeah. The Tyler product is a product that state agencies use. The Tyler product is something that the city of Chicago could go and use and put together. Edmonds GovTech is not out selling that level of cities. They are catering to smaller communities. They have communities much larger than Coffeyville. Interesting to note the relationship here. About 18 months ago, when I was working for the county, we met Edmonds GovTech at the Kansas Association of County conference, and so they were introduced to the county at that point. Several months in, the county commissioners chose to also move towards Edmonds GovTech, so the county is in their implementation phase. I called Edmonds GovTech after Marty had come a few weeks ago and said, hey, we're ready to make a decision, and just said, hey, since then, are you anywhere else in Kansas? I hate to be the second, although I was at the county when we were the first. They already have 13 other cities that are going through implementation right now. None of them are alive because they've just come into Kansas and some of the Midwest. They've been very much a East Coast product for a long time, but they're filling a niche, especially right now with Kansas, because there's many cities in the same boat that we have. We're using a product that is decades old. It's time to grow and enhance. And really that Tyler product is very attractive because they're everywhere. Like I said, state governments, big cities use them, but you can fill that on the cost. So here we have something that's catering to our size community relative to the cost. You're not paying for infrastructure that can support something much bigger too.
Are you targeting a go-live date of January 1st, 27?
That's the target. We won't know for sure what that go-live date is until we've gotten a little further into implementation with that business mapping process that we've described.
I was just wondering if a calendar date was really important, that you didn't want to be some of the year with Tyler and some of
It
the year
would be very convenient if we could make it happen that way, yes.
Chris, I would encourage you, and I'm sure you will, to be thorough and very cautious about implementation, because having been through this kind of a transition from one provider to another in the private arena, whenever I hear the new provider say it will be seamless, that's when I get scared.
Yeah, I can tell you that I have the same fear, and I was just about to step in and say that although you see that cost today and you hear the savings, I'm still holding in reserve the need to even hire someone part-time for that transition and that data. Most of the things within there are going to be, would be seamless because there's not a lot of data to move, but when you get into that utility billing system, the addresses and the bills and the cycles, it does make me nervous as well. I've also been through several of them. enough of them without having someone in my hip pocket to know the pain that you can go through. So we're very aware and cognitive. They are making assurances. They are telling you that the support team you have, but it is definitely in the back pocket to make sure that we can get through this. You have to continue running all day-to-day operations at the same time, and then you start in a sandbox environment, turning it on, making sure your system is adapting to that. So I have the same reservations, and
Well,
rest assured we'll be paying
Hope for the
attention.
best and plan for the worst.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hendrick? Okay, another question. For starting now or budget year 26, if you're doing an implementation of January 1st, 27, we're gonna have some expenditures for this and also Tyler Technologies at the same time, so we're basically gonna be paying double for 1 year?
That is correct.
18
Yeah.
months.
Well, no, well, so this cost as presented is the entirety of the implementation time frame. So one of the things I stipulated to them when we were negotiating out the price and the terms of the contract was that I would not double encumber my budget for any licensing or any subscription fees. And so they agreed to take, and I'll have to go look at the numbers here, but I believe it was $87,000 of this, and we do not pay that until January of next year. So we have spread this out. And so rather than, normally what they would do in an implementation that starts mid-year is they would basically front load you with all the fees and then make you pay a subscription fee for the following year. That's the way pretty much every provider would behave. I told them that wasn't going to work for our budget. So if we were going to do this, we needed to spread this cost out so that I could carry some of it into the following budget year. And they agreed. So yes, there will be some overlap. You are correct, Alec. But it's something that's inescapable. That overlap would occur even if we were to go with Tyler. So
You at least minimized it.
we minimize it, yeah.
Okay.
But yes, paying for two systems during that having two systems with the fees associated in the appropriate years, but you're going to be running two systems. Essentially, one is up and going at the same time you continue that other one. So there won't be a period of we'll engage with them, we'll be using Encode the entire time. We'll get to that 14-day training period, we'll be running those things in the sandbox, you'll turn the other off. So for 18 months they'll be on together.
Yeah. But this cost represents the cost that we would carry through the end of 26, though.
So are you gonna put everything in the system for 26, so at the end of 26, the Encode and this one need to match?
Yeah, there will be, well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, and of course I'll need to go talk it over with the implementation team, but my current understanding is that we will carry our historical accounting data into the new system as well.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
There will be some features in here that we are not utilizing right now. One of the big ones will be the fleet maintenance, or fleet management component within there. So
that's nice.
when we talk about kind of those upgrades too, you'll participate in some of those. There's some budgetary aspects that we can do the budgets that you'll be able to get logins and access. We'll have better reporting. That's what really started this conversation, is when we go and look at our appropriations ordinance and how we're doing that and the numbers that you're seeing. So it's still going to be 18 months, but you'll see those differences as well on your side as you work in the budget.
one of the features that we had them include in this quote was for a municipal dashboard, and so he talks about the reporting features. When all is said and done, there will be basically a reporting and interaction tool that the public will have access to through our website, but it's facilitated by this platform. And so I don't want to oversell that yet, as we're still going to explore just how far we can push that, but there will be some opportunities to gain greater transparency with the voting public as we move to a more modern platform. And so we're pretty excited about that. It will also help facilitate budget development in a way that's a lot easier than what we're doing right now with Encode. And so there will be, hopefully, what I'm hoping to gain by moving to a software package like this is when we create systems and processes that are driven by a standard system, not by an Excel spreadsheet that will change from one finance director to the next, will make it a lot easier to change out finance directors. Not that I'm dropping any suggestions here,
Hey.
but
Hey.
but we do need to make sure that everything that we're doing within the city operations, including our financial operations, are scalable to whoever our successors are. And so this is a much easier system to do that in.
So it's web-based.
It's web-based.
Okay, that was more of a quote rhetorical question, number one. Number two, what sort of cybersecurity do they have at their end?
So they're inside of a cloud system. I believe they're AWS. Don't quote me on that. I mean, I reserve the right to change that story later when I get updated, but I believe they're AWS. So AWS is the most, I think they are the single largest server provider. It might even be in the world. Again, don't quote me on that stat. And so they have redundancies on redundancies. In fact, I'm sure one day I hope and pray we get to pitch them on bringing some of those to Coffeyville. Who knows? But so cybersecurity, obviously nothing is foolproof, nothing is perfect, but we're going to get as good a cybersecurity as there is as far as server maintenance goes and
So-
protection.
We got as good as there is.
It's going to be as good as there is.
All right, thank you.
All right, if there's no further questions, I will move to approve Resolution R-25-81 as presented.
Second?
Motion is made by Vice Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Jones to approve Resolution R-25-81 as presented. Commissioner Hendricks.
Aye.
Mayor Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sounds like you're going to have
Good.
fun for the next 3 years.
All right, Resolution R-25-82, a resolution to authorize the purchase of a trencher from Ditch Witch for the Fiber Department. Executive Director of Electric, Chris Weiner, will make comments. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you all for entertaining us again. This, as you know, is Britt McDaniel. He's leading the fiber department. This purchase is one you saw, I believe, here a week and a half ago or so, and that's part of our capital improvement plan. This particular item is actually not just for the fiber department. It's planned to be split between the fiber and the electric department, both for usage as well as for the expense. So plan to have the expense split 50-50. Both utilities plan to utilize it. We do have a current trencher, but it's a little bit large for either utility's needs, so this one will better fit our need, as well as it's something that I think will certainly be useful to try and make sure we can get things done rather than having to rent a piece of equipment that we are for the time being. So it's right around, I think $13,000, just under $13,000 for each utility. I budgeted $20,000 a piece, so $40,000 was my expectation for this piece of equipment, and we're getting it for just under $26,000. So I think from a budgetary perspective, we're certainly within budget there, and we'll seek your approval. If you have any questions, I have Brent here to answer your questions on the operational characteristics of how we'll utilize it. But barring that, I would ask for your approval.
Brent,
Yes,
one question.
yes.
Who's going to fix it if it breaks?
That's a good question. Chris, I don't know. Who's going to fix it if it breaks? I'm not exactly sure on that.
Well, on that question, for the first couple of years, what's the warranty?
That's a good question, too. I don't know the answer to that.
And can you buy an extended warranty?
I'm sure we can.
So I do believe it comes with I think it was a 3-year warranty, but I will verify as well as see if we can maybe look to extend that. And as far as who will work on it. I think it's Ditch Witch is, I believe, the vendor, and so I believe we do have those vendors in the area who we would likely take it to get repaired. But we will certainly verify those topics.
So
Well-
is it brand new?
This one is.
Yeah.
Because it's a 2024.
So it has not been utilized. It's just still on the lot.
Okay.
But
That's
yeah.
fine.
Are you going to need a trailer to haul this around?
Doesn't it, I think it comes with a trailer, doesn't it?
I believe
If not, we have one. I believe we have one.
I believe this is just the machine, but we do have a trailer we could
Oh, that was.
we could utilize it.
I think the boring machine came with a trailer.
Right.
We do have a trailer.
Okay.
As part of the other requests for the electric utility, I'm also looking at getting another trailer as well. So look
Then I
forward to. Sorry, go ahead.
I assume you'll have consumables, the blade cutting. You'll have to some expense every so often for that, and
Right.
that's yeah.
And
you'll have to
oil and
budget for that.
hydraulic fluid, and so I anticipate that we'll definitely have some consumables to make sure we keep in stock. The other, but in terms of the other items, certainly I believe the trailer that we're looking at should also help us out when it comes to if we need to utilize that moving forward. So you should see additional equipment requests coming up here in the next couple meetings. So.
Well, I hope this will help you hook up more customers quicker.
Oh, well, it should. Actually, we have 5 lines to bury next week. So.
Well, good.
And I will say we are hooking up new customers all the time. I think it's almost every day that I get 2 or 3 service order hookups come through that Brent and his team send over to for approval that hey, they got these people hooked up. So we are hooking a lot of people up. We're certainly our customer base has grown significantly since we started, and just really appreciate your support and look forward to continuing to grow the utility.
If you would, please verify the warranty period, and then see if there is such a thing as an extended warranty and what the cost is, and get back to us on that.
Okay, absolutely. Assuming that it's within reason, you would be supportive of
Yes.
purchasing the extended warranty?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yep, absolutely. We'll plan to do that. I'll confer with city manager, but certainly look to do that as long as it's not
All
incredibly
right,
expensive.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with no other questions, I will move to approve Resolution R-25-82 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Maples, seconded by Commissioner Faulkner to approve Resolution R-25-82 as presented. Mayor Maples.
Aye.
Commissioner Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Hendricks.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
Chris.
moving on to the city manager's report.
Thank you. Just a few quick items here so we can continue on with business. We did get a report back from Chief Bromley on out-of-state tags. We did reach out to 8 jurisdictions that either bordered Oklahoma or Missouri. We've only had 2 that have responded in our request, and both those that responded, I apologize if I didn't say this is about the out-of-state tags and what other jurisdictions are doing. The 2 that responded didn't do that, reverted to the county for that work. One of them up by the military base just talked about how many people they have coming and going, that would be something that would be too difficult for them. So did want to have that report. Under direction of the commission, we can continue to search, we can continue to push back. I think this was brought up in a meeting or 2 ago that we were trying to finalize those. So any direction from the commission on to continue to pursue and continue to get other answers or any other action you'd like us to take on out-of-state tags?
I would like you to continue to pursue it.
Okay. We'll continue to reach out to these other 6 agencies and see what they do. Trash, we have confirmed that they are not requiring the wrapping of cloth material bulk items. We'll continue to evaluate. We get complaints in this last week. I think they were down some staff, and so office staff was out trying to pick up trash. And so Friday it was nearly 7 p.m. I think by the time they had finally picked up all the trash in town. They did get it done. So we just continue to watch and stay in close communication with them on issues. We've mentioned the other bulk options. I haven't heard a lot of pushback on that yet, so we'll continue to wait, but there is some flexibility we can do with how they do bulk pickup. I think it's warranted to just talk about briefly code enforcement. Outside of streets, that's been one of the nearly most communicated issues that Commission has had for me. We are and have been primarily a complaint-based operation when it comes to code enforcement, other than grass. We're on top of our grass ordinance. As I have communicated with other communities, they are the same. Rather than proactively going out and finding big issues and mitigating them, it's with those complaints that come up. Partly that is because of our budgets, and very quickly over the last several years, by mid-year, code enforcement has maxed out their allowable budgets, and so they maintain sort of those lower ticket items, doing research, doing reminder letters, not so much as the mitigation. They'll continue to respond to a complaint. They'll send out letters, but to actually pay for someone to come in and remove trash or cut down trees or have significant cleanup of yards, it just doesn't happen. And so you get multiple years backed up where you may see that same property over and over again and wonder why. And I've had questions from the community too. Why do you ignore this? And that really was what it comes down to, is it's the funds available to just clean up everybody's yard that has a problem in your community. So complaint-based commission, as we come down, we talked about South Walnut and the need to have something coming into our community, so we go focus on those areas. We're in the process of completely evaluating how code enforcement works. We have taken an ordinance to our planning commission to talk about vacant buildings and the care of buildings in downtown and get their feedback, and we'll continue to develop that and eventually bring that to commissions. This year we did something a little bit different with grass. Was not enough for my taste, and so we'll continue to develop how do we do that. The trend of trying to encourage self-action and accountability from residents versus just the city's just going to cover that. There's ways that you can adjust ordinances, and so just a few years ago there was some adjustments, and it pushes us one way, and we might need to adjust and kind of push back and continue to find that middle ground so that we can have a community that, from a visual standpoint, is somewhere that people want to come, people want to stay and live. So I know that's a focus and a frustration, but it really is that constraint of your budgeted funds. And, most of those funds come from any money that we make on the trash service. And so, if you lower revenues because you're trying to give back on one area, you have something else that will increase that you can't do. And so that's always a management, and that's the task that you have as commissioners as we put budgets before you on articulating where you want to see sort of that biggest bang for the buck, if you will, within our budget, and what does it get us. We are also looking at other options. Matt Conger recently came in, and he's trying to wrap up a study that he believes that the cost for just one of our demo package, which is usually 10 to 12 homes, that if the city was to have that equipment and the staff to do it, we could, triple or quadruple the number of homes that we could get rid of. Now, my understanding, looking back in the history, is the city has done that before. I think Bobby Joe was one of the last employees several years ago to participate in some of those. So we're going back and evaluating that. Is that an option to maximize those dollars we have to go out and, demo houses that have been burned or condemned or abandoned? So we are absolutely evaluating all of these things. I know that is a hot topic and a topic on each of your minds often. The other one that ties in with all of this is animal control. We have the people in the seats now. We have 3. Right now, it's a combination code enforcement, animal control. We're looking at adapting the title of that job description to something a little bit different. But this whole week, so we're 2 days in on a week-long training that 4 of our staff members are going through for animal control. The Animal Control and Care Academy out of Ohio has come down. We have 2 other people from other communities that came to participate in that training as well. We're going through that week-long training. There's a balance there between keeping animals safe and secure and maintained, as well as your employees. And so it's a really good training. We've been really impressed with it so far. Tomorrow will be a continuation of sort of the book administrative training, and then Thursday and Friday they'll get into some more hands-on with different equipment. We expect to get some recommendations out of that for some equipment that we don't hold today. When we talk about animal control, again, we're also talking about something that is very complaint-based. Very difficult to go out and proactively go after strays and things when you don't have any room at your animal shelter. And we're also in conversations with our animal shelter on how does the city support at a higher level those operations. Again, funding, budget season, where do we get the money to take that over? So those conversations are ongoing. Really, I think sort of some of the opportunities are, part of that animal shelter operations is to have the city take a greater role in animal licensing. Right now, that animal licensing goes through Coffeyville Friends of Animal at the shelter. They also can go to the veterinarian in town. And so we're also evaluating, how do we get that in-house and have a little bit more operational control? Because then if you are enforcing animals that are licensed and do have, part of that license is a rabies vaccination, you know where the animal comes from because it's licensed and where to take it back to and some of those problems. And unfortunately, there's also then the enforcement side when you are licensing an animal but you're allowing it to run free or to do things that shouldn't. And we can now come find you. That's why you have that licensing. So we can help encourage that accountability aspect. So just want to say this. I know we've talked about it briefly. We're talking about it over and over. This is something that we continue to do. We're constantly looking at. It involves nearly every resident in our community, so there's a very touchy subject there when you talk code enforcement, animal control, property rights. We're trying to strike that appropriate balance all around. So lots of questions on that. Happy as you continue to send addresses over and ask questions on what's going on. Generally, the reason that we haven't got to that thing that you're seeing is because we're so reactive to complaints versus proactive because of those budgetary constraints. I think the rest of the items I have will be in our next session, unless there's any questions.
Okay. Any comments from commissioners or staff?
I have a question. Ben, could you give us an update, a start and completion date on, for lack of a better term, the Carter Automotive parking lot down on 11th and Walnut?
We are going out to bid on those is where I believe we're at. We're going out to bid, Jim?
We have not went out to bid yet, but yes, that is where we're at.
That's our next step. So we've done design. It's not just that parking lot. It's also the Sycamore and the North Park parking lots that we're grouping those together, hoping that the I can't remember that term, the roll-up, the engagement costs when they have to go and get all their equipment and show up. When you do multiple projects, sometimes those costs will go down a little bit. So we're bidding those together. The next, who said what? Somebody said something. So the next aspect of that's already been designed, engineered, is the going out for bids. You should see
Okay.
that here hopefully by, our next meeting, I think, is August 12th. So I'm not sure if it'll make that one with our bid process. It might be the following.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't know if you put it on Facebook or anything. When I came in, I noticed the choices for the park across the street.
Yeah, so we have a grant, and, you know, in looking at this gravel lot over there on the corner of 11th and Walnut, that makes you start looking at other areas that you've got gravel lots that are used for parking that is technically against our city ordinances. And so there's one right across City Hall. Found a grant that I believe is through Blue Cross Blue Shield. Pathways grant for community spaces, and so we are looking as that as an option. Part of that is we have to do a survey, so currently we're surveying the people that come in here frequently, including upstairs. We get a lot of traffic. We'll probably push that out into the downtown if we need to, Facebook and other areas, to take a broader approach. But they are looking for that feedback for the community on, I think they're asking, should we? Is there support from the community to do something? The images that are on there, I think, are a little bit more, they're nicer than I'm sure that the grant would cover, but that's the idea, is creating space, sitting.
A green space.
Yeah. Hopefully not too much grass. We have tons to mow, like more like flowers and things, right? You can kind of see as you walk into City Hall there. We have a lot of people that park there currently. Been watching it very frequently, but we also have a lot of spaces on the street that they could still utilize. I think they're just used to that. We do have next door, we have the senior center and the health department, and they use some of that building used some of it. So some parking would go away there. So part of that plan would be add the street parking on this, I guess it'd be the west side of that particular lot. So it's not completely cutting out parking. Also, we have a lot of people that are sitting on benches and things outside as they're waiting for court versus sitting here in the building. So that's kind of the idea behind that survey, if that's something that the community would believe. So we'll bring that back with those results and an option for commission to choose to go after that grant or not.
And I did, drove by the tennis and pickleball courts before the meeting tonight, and it's looking nice.
It's looking nice.
I didn't stop and get out. I hope nobody put their initials in the cement while it was wet.
Now that you said that, they're all going out.
They're all
Yeah, now they will.
Speaking of that, didn't we talk before that may be done by end of July? So what's the new date?
Not the end of July. I don't have a new date in front of me. I don't anticipate it being done by the end of July.
Was there a reason they haven't
Rain.
worked on it
Water. That's
the
everybody's.
last week?
Well, I mean, you've got to mobilize in multiple projects, and when you are being pushed back, and then they're managing other projects, and so that's just the nature of delays, is what those things are. Now, I think we also have, there was some more pouring. That pouring, just the time it takes to set, there's still the pouring for the walkways. So no, it's not a constant, they're there. Some of that is pour and go. Luckily for them, and I better knock on wood, you know, with our trail project, twice, or was it 3 times? I think it was just twice, where rain caused them to have to rip out cement work that's happened. Haven't seen that yet over there. Hopefully that's not the case. So maybe going slow and being careful is better there for not having to rip things out. I'll get you a date though, estimated date.
Okay, thank you.
4th Street.
Yes.
I know there's a post on Facebook about it and what has come up, but can you explain a little bit? So or whoever wants to.
Let's have Jim. What will happen is I'll start telling you about it, and I'll have to turn to Jim anyways. So give us an update on 4th Street, Jim.
Yes. Right now, everything is going better than we expected. All the milling was completed in one day. And we did find just a little bit more on 4th Street that needed to be full depth replacement. We were assuming it'd be around 600 linear feet, ended up being closer to 900 feet that we need to take out. So it's nothing that we did not expect. They began on that yesterday. So right now, the plan is everything works according to plan. They will be laying asphalt next week and putting back. So hopefully everything will keep going our way, and this will be completed probably within another 10 to 14 days, just the 4th Street portion.
Any other surprises, or
I'm sorry?
any other surprises that you didn't foresee? What about curbing?
Well, it's kind of hard to see the surprises sometimes,
Yeah.
but yeah.
What about the curbing? I do remember that being overlaid many times and the road being higher than the curb.
Yes, we are replacing a portion of the curb along the Sherwin-Williams Park. That is just part of the unexpected things that we knew was going to come up. West of Klein, in front of the school, we've adjusted our plans because when they milled that off, they exposed the fill under the road. So there was less than 2 inches of asphalt in some places there that we did not expect. So we are going to overlay that at 4 inches, so we will fill the gutter line in front of the school there in anticipation of replacing the curb at a later date, either later this year or next year.
All the water lines are fine?
Yes, all the water lines are.
You just had to say that. You'd knock on wood right
There are
now.
no water
please.
lines under that road.
Just checking.
And you were asking about the tennis court a while ago. They're coming back. They're scheduled to pour the center sidewalk between the tennis courts and the pickleball courts next Wednesday. When that is done, the city electric will be able to put the light poles up in there. And they're needing to wait 30 days for the concrete to cure before they do the epoxy cover over the top. So hopefully when that time frame is up, we'll get that epoxied and then we'll get the chain link fence put around it.
So maybe end of August.
Maybe. Depends on the
Mid-September.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Rather it be all done right.
Yeah, I
And
don't want them
then
to rush
I
it.
don't want them to rush it either. We've been waiting too long for this, and to go through will not be, no, we don't need that.
One last question on the courts. I have received a couple of emails and Facebook posts, whatever, suggesting that it be named for specific people. And I was under the impression, I think someone told me, that it already has a name. It was previously named for someone when it was originally built. And I have no idea who that is.
Correct, it was. I remember seeing the sign.
You remember who?
I don't remember the name, but there was a sign on the fence.
If there's some way to find out who the original designee was, we need to maintain that historical aspect. And that doesn't mean that we can't put up a plaque in memory of others who have contributed to the sport in Coffeyville, but I think we need to maintain that historical reference to the original name. That's all I have.
Do you have anything?
Nope, I asked one.
Okay.
I was done. I'm not gonna talk.
Commissioner Jones.
Are you good? Okay. Good. Okay. All right, now we are going to move on to executive session. I will make a motion to recess to executive session for 3 purposes. First, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel as permitted by KSA 75-4319B1 of the Open Meetings Act, to include the city attorney and city manager for a period of
I think between those three items, 25 minutes should be able to cover
Okay.
this.
Second, to discuss matters relating to security measures as permitted by KSA 75-4319B12 of the Open Meetings Act to include the same persons. And third, for consultation with the city attorney regarding matters that would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship as permitted by KSA 75-4319B2 to include the same persons for a period of a total of 25 minutes to reconvene in the commission room at, let's go with 8:05 just to give us time to get back there.
And if I gave you something that I think may be illegal, so I just make sure, 10 minutes for the first, 10 minutes for the second, 5 for the last, versus doing a group time,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay, yep, we got that.
The attorney didn't look at me sideways, but I think, okay, just making sure.
Okay. Okay, I'll second it.
Motion is made by Mayor Maples, seconded by Vice Mayor Bannister, to recess to executive session for three purposes. First, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel as permitted by KSA 75-4319B1 of the Open Meetings Act to include the city attorney and city manager for a period of 10 minutes. Second, to discuss matters relating to security measures as permitted by KSA 75-4319B12 of the Open Meetings Act to include the same persons for a period of 10 minutes. Third, for consultation with the city attorney regarding matters that would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship as permitted by KSA 75-4319B2 of the Open Meetings Act to include the same persons for a period of 5 minutes to reconvene in the commission room at 8:05 p.m. Commissioner Faulkner.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Commissioner Hendricks.
Aye.
Mayor Maples.
Aye. Recreation Commission meeting minutes for June of '25. Anybody have any question about those?
Sales tax looked very good.
Yes, it
Of course,
does.
we're up, but if you look, we're really up. I know it says May, but we're 2 months behind in collecting.
And we're still ahead.
We're still ahead, but it's during the months of January, February, and March of this year, which I'm sure attributes to the turnaround. And so it kind of went back down in April, because most of that was over and done with. So it'll be interesting to see what the next several months bring. But we are ahead, and that's great.
Shop local.
That's right, that's right. All right. I will make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
Motion is made by Mayor Maples, seconded by Vice Mayor Bannister to adjourn. Can I see a show of hands? Thank you.
Shop local.